Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now we have another really interesting alliance war against LVT, and this was probably by far the most tense and nail-biting alliance war that New Nation had this season in quite a while. Exactly why, I'll explain it in the end, because in a interesting twist of fate, this was also the most chill war for me specifically. And that's not because I didn't do any interesting fights or anything like that. That's just because it so happened with people's schedules and stuff like that they effectively had to go and fight first in my ball group. And I did all of my fights within, the first day, within after hours of this war had started. So when all the kind of like closing fights were happening and everybody was preparing to, do their best to be as fast as they can, not to die, I had kind of, somewhat forgotten about the war and only joined the mindless screen watching, second counting, time calculation, everything else towards the end. Right, so LVT is obviously extremely capable and awesome alliance. Huge shout out the guys in there. I know a lot of them, several of them pop by my streams and so on and so forth, and yeah, a bunch of awesome guys in there. So I have Gallan, Cassie and Nimrod for this war. Both Gallan and Nimrod have 1 fight each, and then Cassie has 4, I believe. So here we can see that pretty much nobody has done their fights initially, or maybe like 1 basic fight there. And that means I'm also going to be using a ton of energy because I'm going to be doing all of this in one go, because I effectively had to do it before I went to bed after the first day. So I'm going to actually end up using 120 units, I think, for the 2 full Alliance War refills. Don't quite like how much energy it costs to move towards the end now. Right, so obviously we're going to boost up here. I'm putting on, the large champion boost basically, and then a medium attack boost, which is kind of like the standard boosting procedure. Here we're going up against Venom, and I'm going to be using Gallan. It's a very standard affair. I really hope Venom procs an armor buff, because if he does, this fight's over in like 20 seconds. If he doesn't, it will take longer. So every time that symbiote buff expires over there, I am praying and hoping to see an armor up buff, and it just is not coming. So at this point, I'm going to go and throw level 1 just to start building up some planetary mass. I think I go for level 1. I'm quite sure I go for level 1. Oh no, I misremembered. I go for level 2. But the point is, I'm hoping that he gets an armor up buff. Right, so I'm going to drop my level 2 here to do the bigger, proper ramp up. I'm not entirely sure whether that was necessary, but as we can see here, he has 6 buffs already active, and none of them are armor ups, so that kind of sucked. But by this point, I already built up to 800 some planetary mass, and then he finally, as he was about to die, got that armor buff in the end. Right, next up, we have a very simple Mojo against Cassie fight, and I must say that at this point, and I do feel just very kind of comfortable and confident with Cassie. I know that I can make a mistake and nothing horrible is going to happen because of how tanky she is, and that just gives you even more kind of like confidence in the champion. And then, you let the taunt do the work, and with this attack tactic, Cassie is becoming significantly easier to use because you always have the Pim particle things working for you as well, so you can always drop in a poison, and you effectively, never need to really worry about your taunt expiring or your power stings going away. You just need to finish some combos with lights, and you're pretty much done. And that's why it's also like super easy to build up to this level 2. And this Mojo, this was such an easy, chill, fast, perfect fight. 44 seconds, and a big fat Mojo is down and out. Cassie was like super fast here because obviously that level 2 helped us out to finish things super quickly. Right, and now we are going to be dealing with cheekily placed Wolverine Weapon X. This is actually kind of a Nimrod trap because you can get confused here and you can get cornered and you kind of can get screwed over. The entire point of this node is obviously it's hazard shift. So if you're not attacking through shock, you would be losing ground to him. And then if Weapon X with these nodes does in fact manage to corner you, he can still do significant amounts of damage to you. So here, obviously, whilst it's still the bleed phase, I can, go ham, build up my power. But now I do need to wait out the shock phase as the Weapon X is unblockable. Now, admittedly, I'm trying to bait out a heavy attack there. He does catch me here at the end. But at this point, his unblockable finishes and I'm ready for a level 2. But here, it is quite easy to get snapped by that Weapon X. I have done this fight several times and it's never as straightforward or easy as you'd think, and that is because of the mandatory pause that you pretty much have to take when you attack Weapon X, and then with his aggressive AI, you can mess up fast. Now we're going up against Lyser's Ebony Maw. I'm just starting with a nice little heavy charge to knock him down, and here I'm going for another one. Thankfully, AI doesn't completely chooses to ruin me, so he did dash in, and I basically take care of business. As we can see, not a single altered charge from Ebony Maw has been yet placed on me, and I do hope to keep it that way. So here, yet again, I managed to knock him down by charging heavy attack a little bit. Slowly but surely, I am building more and more power stings, and this fight is an absolute piece of cake for Cassie. Look at that beautiful monster of a champion, and that little poor Squidward wannabe taking it on the chin from the Science Queen. Right. Very easy, very quick, very straightforward. Ebony Maw is no more. He's a bit of a tosser. Right. Speaking of tossers, we are coming up to deal with Dr. Doom. Now, previously, I did Dr. Doom fight extremely well, and I was super happy with the way I did that Dr. Doom fight. But I kind of realized that I needlessly complicated it for myself. Because when you use Cassie against Dr. Doom, you typically want to push him to level 2, because Aura does mess with Cassie's abilities quite a bit. The one thing that I had kind of forgotten, and it was still a very awesome fight, but the one thing that I had kind of forgotten is that when you knock down Dr. Doom with Cassie, with these nodes, you play slow on him, and slow prevents Aura from activating, so there is absolutely no reason why you can't, just bait out level 1s. And obviously, betting out level 1s has the advantage of triggering the power stings more frequently. And that is exactly what we are going to be playing on here for. And now we can see that already 25 power stings have been placed on Dr. Doom, and he is, taking all the damage. Here I do build up to level 2, but I didn't notice fast enough that my taunt had expired, and no taunt, no guaranteed crit, so this level 2 doesn't really do much damage, but we're fine, because he's still slowed, and he still had the 25 power stings. Now 34, as we can see, I have basically regened back almost all the health here after this fight as well, because of the hazard chip debuffs and the attack tactic, and now Dr. Doom just goes to sleep, and my Cassie is perfectly healthy, which I do not mind at all. And next, we have America Chavez. Now, this Chavez is a bit dangerous. Special 2 bias, aspect of evolution, improved power gain. Can be a nasty combo. And I genuinely got a bit carried away in this fight. Just a little bit, but still. So you can see here, I'm thinking, yeah, life's good. Charge my heavy attack, knock her down. No problem. Don't care about the most of the nodes. Okay, she's charged her heavy there. Immediately interrupted. It's fine. We're applying withers. We're getting rid of her phases and all that stuff. Quite easy. We just need her to work with me. So here I went a bit too aggressive. I probably shouldn't have forced it as much power, but as long as she throws her special attacks, we're fine. You can punish her special 1 just like with Tigra you can, quite easily. So here, yet again, we're just getting in more power stings, and she's going down very steadily. Now here, I did activate the wrong phase for a bit, but because of the withers, you can completely neutralize basically all of these heavy attack charges anyways. We go for level 2, and that almost pushed her to 2 bars power. Here, however, didn't want to throw her special attack, so I'm thinking, what do I do? And I decided I'm just going to push her to level 3, and I'm going to activate level 1. Before that, I have all the debuffs in the world. I do have the taunt active, so even with Aspect of Evolution, How is it? What, 89% health? And that's all she can do. She did 12k damage with a level 3. And immediate level 1 to retaliate. She's at 2%. Just need to bait out that. So, that is why Cassie is awesome. I kind of got lazy in this fight, and I figured that would be a faster way to finish, and possibly less messy. Maybe a bit wrong, but completely destroyed that poor Chavez. Unfortunately, though, and here is the story. We had a couple of very unfortunate deaths at the beginning, and then we had borderline perfectly till the end. Fortunately, one of our players, had a very annoying death in a matchup that he has done 10 times, and it happens to the best of us. So we had died 3 times, and so had they. They had finished exploring, and we were close to finishing to explore. Ultimately, it came down to the situation where we had 1 fight left, and we had 80 seconds to do that fight. 82 seconds to be exact. If we do that fight faster than 82 seconds, we win the war. If we take longer than 82 seconds or get KO'd, we lose the war. I can only imagine how stressful that fight must have been, especially considering it was a photon boss. And the problem with photon boss is that, photon is a beast of a champion. Not much that, really nukes photon. And unfortunately, in that last fight, 82 seconds, we didn't quite do it. Because our player obviously put on the recall masteries and boosts max, and he rushed as much as he could, so he took more risks than he otherwise should, and unfortunately we died on that boss fight, and it wouldn't have been fast enough to begin with. But nonetheless, this was a very, very tense and picture perfect tier 1 masters level war, in a sense, I would say. Because the deaths were kind of stupid or whatever, and then, there's this whole kind of timer watching, second counting, math, and everything else is involved. Incredible amount of stress to a team member that has to basically do the last fights, and that is the type of things that I do love about Alliance War. If I'm being absolutely truthful, I'm kind of pissed that I had to do my fights early, and I didn't get to take part in the most stressful time in the war, because that is exactly what I love in Alliance Wars. When you have to be perfect, you have to be fast, and so does everybody else, in order for you guys to squeeze out through that slim chance of an opening to a win. I think those are the best kind of wars. And unfortunately, obviously you can't win all of them, and this time, it wasn't in our favor. So, well played to LVT, and I'll wait until we match them the next time. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about